Hi everybody, it's Joseluiz Morales with Remax Gold Coast Realtors. I wanted to do a video because just the other day I met with a client. He's a for sale by owner, and as I'm getting to know his story and everything that he's going through, he just starts telling me about the reason for him making the move. And the reason being is that he thinks that the economy is going to shit. He thinks that the government's taking over, that they're all trying to take our guns. And he was just lived in a world where everything or every decision that he was making was just based on fear. And he said something throughout the conversation that really struck a chord. He said, I almost wish that I didn't know all of this stuff that's going to happen in the future. And I'm not here to say that it is or it's not going to happen in the future, but I'm a firm believer that his situation or what he was going through or his beliefs were a core of what he was feeding himself into his brain. So for example, like listening to the media or paying attention to certain things or getting involved, like he was hanging out maybe with the wrong people were telling him all these things. He's listening to the wrong news channels. He's listening to media that's negative. And as I think about it, I think about how important it is for us to be able to control our environment and what we feed our brain with every single day. For example, like we have a choice. We can listen to the media, the news, which is on most cases pessimistic or has bad news, or we can choose to listen to other things, like maybe like a positive audiobook, maybe like an Anthony Robbins, maybe like a Mike Ferry, maybe something that expands our mind as opposed to something that's negative. Because if we think about it this way, the media or the news, like when do they ever report good news? Like do they ever say, hey, congratulations, or this happened today, it's this kid was got straight A's, or this kid became a millionaire, or just good things? And I'm sure that they do it sometimes, but on average, more than likely, the media has negative information, which is one of the reasons why I don't really listen to the media very much. I don't follow the election. I don't listen to what's going on, just because I don't want to contaminate my brain or my experience with these negative feelings. For example, like when that shooting happened in Orlando, I kid you not, the next time I went out to a club, I was in fear. I was like, oh my God, like what if something were to happen here? What if like somebody just walks in here and shoots up the whole club or the bar that I'm currently at? And it just comes down to like my environment. And the only reason I watched that was just because at the gym they were playing it on the TVs, and I almost wish that I hadn't been exposed to that, because there's that constant fear. I'll give you another example. I have a couple of aunts that are always listening to the media. They're always listening to the news. Their favorite channel is Univision. And when I have conversations with them, it's always like, oh my God, like living in fear, like you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, oh, this is bad, or almost like it holds them back from thinking bigger and achieving bigger and better things. So it's aside from the people that you hang out with, you have a lot of control of what you expose yourself by the things that you choose to watch, by the books you choose to read, or what channels you choose to see in the media. So my thing is, I've not watched the news in a really long time. You won't ever see me on CNN. You won't ever see me on Fox News. You won't ever see me purposely wanting to seek this information out. Whenever I do, it's because it's dropped right in front of my plate. Either it pops up on my Facebook media, on my Facebook news feed, or I'm exposed to it at the gym. But other than that, I really just try to not pay attention to a lot of those things. And the reason being is I want to contaminate my brain, or I want to expose my brain to bigger positive things, as opposed to contaminating with negative things that are going on in the world. A lot of those things are things that I have no control over, and there's nothing that I can do about it. So why fill my brain with those sorts of things? And it comes back to the client that was living in fear, the client that thinks that all these bad things are going to happen. And yeah, it's good to be paranoid to a certain extent, but at the same time, I mean, when you're making life decisions based on these sorts of things, man, it can really affect you in many different ways. So I almost wish that I could have told the client, hey, look, this, and this. But at the same time, I mean, nothing that I say or do is going to control his reality, because whatever he has listened to or whatever sources he's getting his information from, they're already a part of him, and there's nothing that I can say or do about it. So, Jose Luis Morales, I work with RE/MAX Gold Coast Realtors. It's very important to control your environment, to be careful who you're hanging out with, be careful what you're listening to on a daily basis. If you think about it, the news never has anything positive to say. More than likely, it's negative things. And whether we like to think about it or not, those are things that our subconscious mind holds on to and feeds back to us at a future purpose. So, Jose Luis Morales, I see Neil Schwartz, Joe Lucio, a couple people are on. Victor, thank you for joining. I work with RE/MAX Gold Coast Realtors. If you or anybody that you know knows of anybody that is looking for a good real estate agent here in Southern California, feel free to give them my name and number, and I'd be happy to help them. Jose Luis Morales, RE/MAX. Make it a great day. Peace out. Bye-bye.